Welcome to Dog's Information Treats. And it can't be rushed. It has to be earned. Through years of quiet moments you probably don't even remember. Today, 10 signs will prove you've already earned it. And if your dog does the final one, they don't just love you. They chose you. Because here's the thing about a dog's trust. It doesn't shout. It doesn't spin in circles or bounce off the walls. It whispers. It hides in tiny movements most owners walk right past. Every single day. A flick of the eyes, a half-second pause, the way a sleeping body settles against your leg. Miss those whispers and you miss the deepest conversation your dog will ever try to have with you. So, stay with me. Because sign number 9 is something your dog does for you when you don't even know it's happening. And the final sign. The final sign is the most beautiful thing an animal can give a human being. If you've ever looked at your dog and quietly wondered, am I doing enough? Does this dog actually feel safe with me? This video is your answer. Because your dog answers that question every single day in a language far older than words. Once you learn to read it, you'll never doubt yourself again. And stick around until the very end. Because I'll hand you a 10-second trick you can try tonight. A way to say, I trust you too. In your dog's own language. Almost nobody knows it. Now, let's start where trust shows up first. Their eyes. Number 1. The soft eyes. Almost everyone misreads. When your dog looks at you, don't watch their tail. Watch the tiny muscles around their eyes. A dog that's simply observing the room keeps wide, round, alert eyes. Every detail sharp. Every movement tracked. But a dog that deeply trusts you does something they cannot control. Their gaze physically softens. The eyelids lower just a little, turning those round eyes into a gentle almond shape. The tension in the brow melts away. Behaviorists call it the soft gaze. And here's what makes it so special. It's involuntary. Your dog's nervous system produces that look before their brain even catches up. They can't fake it. They can't perform it for a treat. It simply happens the way your own shoulders drop when you finally walk through your front door after a long day. And in the canine world, this is a loud statement. A hard, unblinking stare between dogs is a challenge, a threat. So, when your dog willingly lets that hardness go, when they soften their face, and offer you those sleepy, half-closed eyes, they're saying something enormous. I know you. I'm glad you're here, and I don't need to guard myself anymore. Some dogs take it one step further and add a slow, heavy blink. Eyes closing completely right in front of you. In a world where animals survive by watching everything, choosing to close their eyes at you is pure vulnerability. Remember that slow blink. At the end of this video, I'll show you how to answer it in a way your dog actually understands. But the eyes are just the beginning. Because while your dog is looking at you, their ears are doing something even more remarkable. Something researchers can actually measure. Number 2. Where their ears go when you speak. Your dog's ears are engineering marvels. Over 18 separate muscles in each one. Swiveling like radar dishes toward squirrels, car doors, and the glorious sound of a food bag opening. Most of the day, those radar dishes scan the world. But something changes when you speak. Researchers have found that dogs can reliably tell their own person's voice from a stranger's, even when both voices say exactly the same words. And when it's your voice, their body answers. The ears rotate slightly back and flatten. Just a touch. While the rest of the body stays loose and easy. Dog lovers call this airplane ears. Now, pinned back ears on a stiff, frozen body can signal fear. That's a different picture entirely. But soft airplane ears on a relaxed, wiggly dog, that's pure affection. Means your voice isn't information to be analyzed anymore. It's comfort. They've heard you in enough calm moments, enough snorts, gentle evenings, that the sound of you has become their cue to relax. Think about that the next time you chat with your dog while making coffee. They're not just hearing noise. They're actively choosing to listen, and choosing to feel safe. Because it's you. Their ears answer your voice. But the next sign happens in a moment when your dog literally cannot watch you at all. And what they do right afterward is one of the most honest trust tests in nature. Number 3. What happens right after they yawn? Here's a little test you can run tonight without moving from your couch. Wait for your dog to yawn naturally. And watch the half-second right after it ends. A deep canine yawn is a surprisingly vulnerable act. Their eyes squeeze shut. Their jaw stretches wide, exposing the throat. For a brief moment, they can't see you, can't defend themselves, and their reflexes are delayed. So, the moment after a yawn is a genuine security check. If your dog finishes that big, dramatic yawn, maybe with a squeaky little groan, and then just lazily glances at you with soft eyes before settling their head back down, that's a past trust test. They went completely unguarded right next to you, opened their eyes, saw you there, and felt nothing but calm. But here's the part almost nobody tells you, and it matters. Not every yawn means relaxation. Dogs also yawn to calm themselves when they're stressed or confused, at the vet, during a tense training moment, or when they're hugged a little too tightly. Owners notice this, too. One described her dog yawning mostly when she's overwhelmed or wants something to stop. So, read the whole picture. A loose body, a sleepy evening, a lazy glance afterward, that's trust. Rapid-fire yawns in a tense situation, that's your dog politely saying, "Please slow down." Know the difference, and you'll never miss what your dog is really asking of you. And speaking of moments where your dog feels exposed, the next sign is the one nobody likes to talk about. It's a little awkward. It happens on every single walk, and it means far more than you think. Number 4. They do their business while staring straight at you. Every dog owner knows this moment. Your dog finally finds the perfect patch of grass, gets into position, and locks eyes with you, unblinking, intense. Most people look away, feeling awkward. Don't. Because in the animal world, this is the single most defenseless position a dog can be in. They can't run. They can't fight. They're completely exposed. So, why would they choose that exact moment to stare at the one person they know best? Many behaviorists read it as a request. Keep watch for me. Your dog is asking you to be the lookout, trusting you to guard their back during the seconds they can't guard it themselves. Seen that way, the awkward stare becomes something almost touching. Your dog believes, without a shadow of doubt, that as long as you're standing there, nothing bad can happen to them. So, next time, don't scroll your phone. Stand relaxed, stay calm, and let them see you keeping an easy eye on the world. You're on duty, and they know it. It's funny. Your dog trusts you with their most awkward moment. But would they trust you with their failures, too? Because what your dog does right after they embarrass themselves says everything about your home. Number 5. They let you see them fail. Dogs are athletes, and they know it. They're aware of their bodies, aware of exactly how they move through space. So, when your dog misjudges the jump onto the couch, or skids sideways across the hardwood floor, believe me, they felt that. Now, watch what happens next. Deep in canine instinct, showing weakness is dangerous. In a competitive pack, a clumsy stumble can draw exactly the wrong kind of attention. That's why a newly adopted dog, or a dog in a tense household, will often slink away and hide after a mistake, tail tucked, regrouping somewhere safe until the embarrassment fades. But a dog who trusts you does something remarkable. Nothing. They miss the jump, shake it off, glance up at you, and then flop down on the rug to chew a toy like nothing happened. No hiding, no retreat. That casual little shake-off is the product of years of evidence. They've learned that in your home, mistakes are never met with anger or unpredictable reactions. You're just there, calm and steady, like always. Your house is a judgment-free zone, and they know it in their bones. And once a dog decides your home is truly safe, they'll show you the boldest version of that feeling every single night. In the way they sleep. Number 6. The upside-down sleeper. Look at your dog tonight. When the house goes quiet, are they curled into a tight protective ball, or are they flat on their back, legs flopped in the air, belly completely exposed to the ceiling, because biologically, that second position makes no sense. Dog's belly is the most fragile part of their body. Vital organs covered by nothing but soft skin, no bone, no thick muscle, nothing. That's why a dog curled into a ball is doing something ancient, protecting the throat, shielding the organs, staying ready. And there's more. A dog sleeping flat on their back has completely limp muscles. If danger appeared, their reaction would be hopelessly slow. In the wild, that delay could cost them everything. No wild canine would ever risk it. Which is exactly why it's one of the greatest compliments in the dog world. A dog who sleeps belly up in your living room is making a massive biological statement. Their ancient survival brain has run the numbers and concluded, the chance of a threat in this house is 0. You are the guardian of this den. You are my armor. And because you're here, I'm allowed to be completely helpless. And here's what makes this sign even more special. It has to be earned. Dog owners talk about the first belly up night the way parents talk about first steps. One owner wrote about the first time her girl slept belly up, legs sticking straight in the air. She called it unconditional love and trust that must be earned. She's right. If your dog sleeps like this, you didn't get lucky. You built that. Night after night without even realizing it. And that's the perfect halfway point. Because everything so far your dog does openly. The next signs run deeper. One of them is a silent gift your dog gives you when you don't even know it's happening. And the last one is the reason I made this video. Let's keep going. Number 7, they stopped watching your hands. Watch a nervous dog, especially one with a hard past. When a human reaches for something, their eyes lock onto that hand like a heat-seeking missile. Every twitch of your fingers gets tracked. Every sudden movement gets calculated. Treat, leash, or threat. For a dog who has known rough hands, that math never stops running, which is why this sign means so much. A dog who fully trusts you abandons hand. Watching completely. You can reach right over their head for the remote, jump up suddenly from the sofa, grab a coffee cup an inch from their nose, and your dog doesn't even flinch. Their eyes stay softly on your face, or simply stay closed. After thousands of hours of living beside you, your dog has built a complete model of how you move, your rhythm, your speed, the gentleness of your touch. And their conclusion, written deep into their nervous system, is beautifully simple. These hands only ever bring good things. If you share your life with a rescue dog, this may be the sign worth waiting for. The day those wary eyes stop following your hands, that's the day your patients officially beat their past. But what happens when it goes the other way? What if a dog who used to show you one of these beautiful signs suddenly stops? Don't skip this next one. For some of you, it matters more than anything else on this list. Number 8. When a trust sign suddenly disappears. Here's a message that breaks my heart. Every time I see a version of it, an owner writes, "My dog slept in my bed every night for 14 years, and then he suddenly stopped. My heart is crying every night." Maybe your dog quit jumping on the bed. Maybe they drift to the cold floor at midnight, and you lie there wondering, did I do something wrong? Do they love me less? Almost always, no. When a long-standing habit changes, your dog's heart usually isn't the problem. Their body is. An older dog's joints can turn that easy. Leap onto the mattress into a wall of pain. One owner realized her dog stopped sleeping beside her simply because he could no longer hop up on his own. A thick-coated dog may abandon your warm blankets for cool tile, not to escape you, just to escape the heat. One worried owner watched her boy spend half of every night on the cold laminate floor and asked what she did wrong. The answer was nothing at all. He was just warm. Some dogs even resettle after a vivid dream, wandering to a new spot the way you flip your pillow to the cool side. The love didn't leave. The body changed. So, instead of taking it personally, meet them where they are. Set up a soft bed on the floor right beside yours. One owner called that her healthy compromise, still close enough to hear each other breathe. And one caring rule, if a change like this comes suddenly, especially with stiffness, less appetite, or less joy in the things they love, let your vet take a look. Sometimes the kindest answer to a sign is a checkup. Because reading your dog, honestly, even when the answer isn't romantic, is its own form of love. And now, the 2 signs I promised you at the start. Number 9 is the one your dog gives you in secret. And number 10. Number 10 is the reason people say a dog's love is the purest thing they've ever known. Number 9. They guard you back. Everything on this list so far has been about your dog trusting you to keep them safe. But the deepest bond never flows one way. And dog owners everywhere tell eerily similar stories about it. A woman describes her border collie calmly stepping between her and a stranger who felt wrong. Not barking, not aggressive, just a quiet body placed exactly where a shield should be. Another owner tells of being shaken awake at 1:30 in the morning by a frantic dog, only to discover her blood sugar had crashed to a dangerous low while she slept. And one woman simply writes, "Brody saved my life," about the dog who wouldn't stop fussing over her until doctors found her cancer early. Now, you may never face a moment that dramatic, but look closer and you'll see the small version every single day. The dog who quietly moves between you and a stranger on your walk, leaning into your legs, not asking for attention, just standing post. The dog who lies facing the door while you nap. The dog who won't leave your side on the day you're sick or fighting a headache, pressed against your leg like a warm bandage. The dog who patrols from room to room, checking on everyone, then settles with a deep sigh once the whole family is accounted for. Here's what that means. Somewhere along the way, your dog stopped seeing you as just their protector and quietly appointed themselves yours. In their mind, you're not owner and pet. You're two guardians of the same little pack, keeping watch in shifts. They rest because you're on duty. And when you rest, they take the watch. You may never catch them doing it. That's exactly what makes it the most selfless sign on this list. And it leads straight to the final one. The moment a dog hands you absolutely everything. Number 10. The melt. There's a world of difference between a dog who tolerates cuddles and a dog who melts. A dog who's merely comfortable will rest beside you in the Sphinx position. Head up, front paws tucked squarely underneath, quietly ready to spring at a milliseconds notice. The body is near you, but a small part of it is still on watch. A dog who trusts you completely does something else entirely. You know the feeling I mean. Your dog curls up against you and slowly, degree by degree, their entire body liquefies. The head lands on your lap like a heavy bowling ball. The legs splay out at ridiculous angles. Lift a paw and it hangs completely limp. A wet noodle. They become pure, warm, boneless, dead weight. Often with one last deep sigh that seems to empty every worry they've ever carried. That heaviness is the whole story. Every animal on Earth keeps a sliver of muscle tension in reserve. The ancient readiness to spring up and run. It never fully switches off except here. Against you. That weight pressing into your leg is your dog's survival system going completely silent. Overridden by years of your consistency. They're not just relaxing near you. They're placing their entire physical existence into your hands. The ultimate compliment an animal can give. So the next time your dog melts into you, don't move too fast. Feel that weight. That's what earned trust actually weighs. Remember what I said at the very beginning. A dog's deepest trust can't be bought. And it can't be rushed. It has to be earned. Well, look at the list you just heard. The soft eyes, the lazy yawn, the belly-up sleep, the silent guard duty, the melt. If your dog does even a few of these, then somewhere across all those ordinary evenings and morning walks and quiet hours on the couch, you earned it. All of it. Now, some people will tell you not to romanticize this. That it's all just instinct. But that's exactly the point. Instinct is the one thing a dog cannot fake. A dog can't pretend their survival system into silence. That switch only turns off around someone when their whole being has judged completely safe out of every human they have ever met. Your dog brings their softest eyes, their clumsiest failures, and their helpless sleeping body to you. That's not an accident. That's a choice made again and again every single day. Your dog didn't just end up with you. Your dog chose you. And the love you feel from them isn't your imagination. It's the realest thing in the room. There's a reason so many owners say the same sentence. I'll never be alone as long as I have my dog. Because that feeling is mutual. Your dog looks at you and thinks the exact same thing. They can't say it in words, so they say it like this. by letting 100,000 years of defenses fall away just for you. And the calmer and softer you are, the louder that answer becomes. Before you go, here's the little gift I promised. Tonight, when your dog gives you those soft, half-closed eyes, answer them. Look at them gently and blink slowly. Once, a slow blink at close range is trust spoken in their language. Some dogs will blink slowly right back at you. And that quiet exchange is a shared moment of absolute vulnerability. Just you and them. Defenses down. Together. 10 seconds. No treats. Try it tonight. Now, I'd love to hear about the friend lying next to you. Drop their name in the comments and tell me which of these 10 signs they do the most. Let's celebrate these quiet bonds together. If this video changed how you'll look at your dog tonight, a like and a subscribe truly help. And your dog is still keeping one secret. How they decided you were their person in the first place. That's where we're going next. Until then, give them a slow blink from me. Somewhere right now, a dog is dragging one sock into its bed, curling around it, and sighing. No training. No camera trick. Just a dog holding on to the only piece of you it has until you walk back through that door. And here's the part almost nobody knows. That sock is just the beginning. The moment you leave the house, your dog begins a whole secret life. Some of it looks hilarious. Some of it looks downright bizarre. And one behavior near the end of this list is so precisely timed that scientists compare it to reading an invisible clock. Today, we're counting down the 10 strangest things dogs do when they're home alone. Not rumors, not guesses. Real behaviors described by veterinarians, behaviorists, and researchers who set up cameras in ordinary living rooms. And every single one of them answers the question you've quietly asked yourself on the drive to work. Does my dog miss me? By number 1, you'll know the answer, and it's sweeter than you think. Stick around after the countdown too, because I'll share a 10-second goodbye trick that can make leaving easier for your dog starting tomorrow morning. It's one of the simplest things you can do, and almost nobody does it. So let's open that door quietly, peek inside, and see what your best friend is really up to. Number 10. The sock thief. You've seen the evidence. A slipper in the dog bed. A t-shirt dragged behind the couch. One sock missing from every pair you own. It looks like mischief. It isn't. When your dog is alone, your scent becomes their comfort object. Dogs will seek out socks and shoes that smell like their favorite person. They carry them back to their resting spot to soothe themselves while you're gone. Think about that for a second. Out of everything in the house, the toys, the treats, the warm spots, your dog chooses the thing that smells most like you. And research on scent and attachment suggests something remarkable. Dogs respond to their owners' smell more powerfully than to food or toys, especially dogs who struggle with being alone. Your worn laundry is basically a photograph they can hold. That's why the sock always ends up in the bed, tucked under their chin, close to their nose. They're not destroying it. Most of the time they don't even chew it. They just keep it, like you'd keep a letter from someone you love. So, the next time you find your hoodie shaped into a nest, maybe let them have it a little longer before you take it back. But sock stealing is only the warm-up, because number 9 is the one that confuses almost every dog owner. And it happens at dinner time. Number 9. The traveling dinner. Your dog walks to the bowl, takes a mouthful of kibble, carries it across the room, drops it on the carpet, and eats it there, piece by piece, trip after trip. Why? This one goes back thousands of years. Veterinary behaviorists explain what happened in a wild pack. Lower-ranking members would grab a share of the kill and drag it away, eating in peace without fighting a stronger packmate. Fighting is risky, so most animals do everything they can to avoid it. Here's the strange part. Your dog has no rivals. No one is stealing their dinner. But that ancient software still runs quietly in the background, even in a dog who's been an only child their whole life. And there's often a softer reason layered on top. Dogs are social eaters. Many don't like eating alone. And when you're home, some will carry their food to whatever room you're in, just to have company at dinner. Sometimes the explanation is simpler still. A metal bowl that clinks against a name tag can genuinely bother sensitive dogs. So they take their food somewhere quieter. Either way, it's not bad manners. It's instinct, comfort, and sometimes acoustics. But if carrying food seems odd, wait until you hear where some of it ends up. Number 8. The secret pantry. Buried treats in the couch cushions, kibble tucked behind a pillow, a dental chew mysteriously planted in your laundry basket. Alone at home, some dogs become little squirrels. This is caching, a genuine survival instinct inherited from ancestors who couldn't count on tomorrow's hunt. When there was more food than they could eat, wild canines buried the surplus and came back for it later. Your dog has a full bowl every morning, but their instincts don't know that. And here's a detail most owners miss. Behavior experts note that an oversized portion can actually trigger this. When the meal looks like more than they can finish, something ancient whispers, "Save some for later." So if you keep finding stashes around the house, your dog isn't being weird. They're being prepared. Adjusting portion sizes often calms the whole routine down. Honestly, there's something almost touching about it. Your dog alone in a quiet house, carefully planning for a future they can't predict. But the next behavior isn't about saving food at all. It's about refusing it. And the reason will hit you right in the chest. Number 7. The untouched bowl. You come home after a long day, and there it is, the food you poured this morning, exactly where you left it, full. Your first thought is worry. She's sick? But then dinner happens. You're back in the room, and suddenly she's eating like nothing was ever wrong. Here's what many owners never realize. For some dogs, an untouched bowl isn't about illness at all. It's about absence. Observers of dog behavior have long noted that a dog left alone too long can simply lose interest in food. The sadness of your being gone dulls their appetite. And remember, number 9, dogs are social eaters. Some of them just don't like eating alone. The same way a table for one feels different to us. The meal isn't the point. The company is. Now, one important note, because your dog's health comes first. If your dog skips meals repeatedly, loses weight, or seems low on energy, that's a vet visit. Always rule out medical causes before assuming it's emotional. But if the bowl empties the moment you're home, right next to your chair, that tells you something no camera ever could. To your dog, dinner with you isn't feeding time. It's family time. And we're just getting started. Still ahead, the real reason your dog barks at absolutely nothing. The truth about those all-day naps. And the almost unbelievable way your dog knows you're coming home before you're even close. And that 10-second goodbye trick is still waiting at the end. Trust me. You'll use it tomorrow. Number 6. Barking at absolutely nothing. It's a little unsettling. The house is silent. Your dog suddenly lifts their head, stares at an empty corner, and barks. The neighbors report barking fits at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when nothing happened except something did happen, just not in your version of reality. Your dog's ears pick up frequencies far beyond ours. Human hearing tops out around 20,000 Hz. Dogs are commonly credited with hearing up to 45,000 or more. That means the faint hum of electricity inside the walls, mice scratching behind the drywall, ultrasonic chatter from rodents you will never know existed. To your dog, your quiet house is a full orchestra. And their eyes are in on it, too. Dogs see far better in low light than we do thanks to a reflective layer behind the retina. The same reason their eyes glow in photos. Some research even suggests their lenses let ultraviolet light through, revealing traces and marks completely invisible to you. And then, there's the strangest version of all. The day you come home to a dog who's been pacing and whining for an hour, and 2 hours later, a thunderstorm rolls in. That's not a sixth sense. It's physics. Dogs are thought to detect infrasound. Sound waves so low that human ears simply don't register them. The kind produced by distant storms and shifting ground. Their inner ears also appear to register falling atmospheric pressure, which is why so many owners describe their dog as a living barometer. Earthquakes work the same way. A quake sends out fast, gentle pressure waves ahead of the violent shaking. Dogs seem to feel that first wave, while we feel nothing at all. Some researchers even suspect dogs sense the Electrical charge building in the air before a storm, which would explain why a dog can start trembling before the first clap of thunder. So, when your dog stares at nothing and barks at nothing, they're almost certainly reacting to something. A sound too high for you, a pressure change too subtle for you, a flicker too faint for you. You don't need ghost stories to explain it. You just need better ears. But barking is the noisy exception. Most of the time you're gone, your dog is doing something else entirely. And number 5 is the one every worried owner needs to hear. Number 5, the all-day nap, and why it's not what you fear. Maybe you've set up a pet camera, watched your dog snooze for hours, and felt a pang of guilt. Is he depressed? Is he bored out of his mind? Here's the reassuring truth. Researchers who filmed ordinary dogs home alone found they spend the vast majority of that time resting quietly, lying down, dozing, drifting. For a healthy, secure dog, that's not sadness. That's the default setting. Your dog isn't counting the lonely minutes the way you imagine. They rest, they recharge, and they save their energy for the part of the day that matters most to them. The part with you in it. Now, there is a difference worth knowing, and it's about quality, not quantity. A relaxed dog looks soft, loose muscles, hips rolled to one side, slow blinks, calm and even breathing, sinking deeper as the hours pass. A dog who's quietly stressed looks different. Stiff, tense, holding one rigid position, staying just as wound up hour after hour. And studies suggest dogs with real separation distress don't settle down as time passes, while secure dogs relax more and more. So, don't judge the nap, judge the softness. If your camera shows a floppy, sprawled-out dog following sunbeams around the floor, breathe easy. That's a dog at peace in a home that smells like their favorite person. And speaking of sleep, what happens inside that sleeping head is number 4. Because your dog isn't just resting in. They're somewhere else entirely. Number 4, running in their sleep because they're dreaming. Watch a sleeping dog long enough and you'll see it. The paws start paddling, the muffled little barks, eyes darting under closed lids. About 20 minutes after falling asleep, an average dog slips into REM sleep, the dream stage, and a dog's sleeping brain looks remarkably like ours, cycling through the same electrical stages we experience. Deep in the brainstem, a structure called the pons acts like a brake, holding the body mostly still while the mind runs free. In research described by psychologist Stanley Coren, when scientists switched off that brake, sleeping dogs stood up and acted out their dreams. Pointers pointed at imaginary birds. A Springer Spaniel flushed invisible game. One Doberman squared off with a dream burglar. Dogs dream dog things. Chasing, playing, patrolling, and quite possibly the people they love. Puppies and senior dogs twitch the most because that brake is weakest at both ends of life. Small dogs seem to dream in short, frequent bursts. Big dogs have longer, fewer dreams. Now, because this worries so many owners, here's a simple 3-question check. Is the body loose or stiff? Dreaming looks soft and twitchy. A seizure looks rigid and violent. Can you wake them with your voice? A dreaming dog answers to their name. A seizing dog can't. And afterward, are they instantly normal or confused and lost? Gentle twitching that ends within half a minute in a dog you can wake is almost always just a dream. Anything stiff, unresponsive, or followed by confusion deserves a vet visit. And a quick video clip will help your vet enormously. One more thing. Never shake a dreaming dog awake. A startled sleeper can snap before they're even conscious. Call their name softly from a distance instead. And let this land for a second. Alone on the couch, your dog might be running through a field with you. We're in the top 3 now, and this is where strange, meaning funny, and starts meaning something much closer to love. Because the last 3 behaviors are the ones that answer the question every dog owner secretly asks. Number 3, sleeping in your spot. The camera doesn't lie. You leave, and within minutes, your dog is curled up in your exact place. Your side of the bed, your dent in the couch, your desk chair. If they can reach it, why your spot? In a house full of comfortable places, because to a dog, scent isn't a detail. Scent is presence. Your dog experiences you partly as a cloud of familiar smell. And the places you sit and sleep hold the strongest concentration of it. Dogs have been observed sleeping in the spot of a person who's away, or clinging to a piece of worn clothing. As if keeping the smell close keeps the person close. In a very real sense, as long as your scent is there, you're not entirely gone. That's what your dog is doing in your seat. Not claiming territory, not being spoiled. They're wrapping themselves in the nearest thing to a hug they can find. Some dogs go further and gather a whole collection. Your pillow, your robe, that famous missing sock, into one nest that smells like family. Look at it that way, and it gets hard to ever shoo them off your chair again. But being surrounded by your scent does something else, too. It turns your dog into a timekeeper. And number two is the one that sounds impossible until you understand it. Number 2, knowing exactly when you're coming home. Millions of owners swear by it. The dog who's at the window at 5:25 every single day, moments before the car turns into the street. Grandma insists the dog hears the engine, but dogs do this even when you walk home, even when you change cars, even in the rain. So, how? The leading explanation is one of the most beautiful ideas in dog science. Your dog can smell time. Here's how it works. When you leave in the morning, your scent saturates the house. Then, hour by hour, it fades at a steady, predictable rate. Your dog knows something new, tens of thousands of times more sensitive than ours. It just doesn't recognize what's fading away you'd watch sand. So mix the egg and drain straight out of the pan, right through the kibble. After enough repetitions, every single piece. Your dog learns something remarkable. Now there's nothing left to sniff out and push aside. To a certain level. Owners who spent months on this watch the same dog finish the bowl in under a minute and wonder why nobody told them sooner. Right on time. That trick. Your dog and mix it reading is going to come back again. They're reading you. So hold on to it. Still hanging in the air. Some researchers describe there's a dental problem as smelling the past don't every room until the vet points a light at the back and how long ago in layers we can't begin to imagine. Breath turning sour, which means your empty house isn't empty to them. A carrot is one of the cheapest tools. It's a story about you told the crunch scrapes all day off the tooth surface, and that brings us to dental chew does because if your dog can smell how long you've been gone, and it's low enough in calories, what does all that waiting feel like? Even for a dog watching its weight. The answer is the single sweetest fact I know about dogs at room temperature. Number 1, a lot of them treat waiting in like a chew toy. Here's the strangest and abandon most beautiful thing your dog does. Cut it into when they're home alone and freeze it solid. They wait for you without ever doubting turns it into something worth finishing. Dogs don't carry a concept means more grinding against the teeth. They don't count the hours the way we. Puppies deep in teething. They measure frozen in rhythm almost on instinct. The sunlight moving across the floor. This before they'll suggest a bag of dental treats at twice the price. And within those rhythms, scientists who study dog cognition describe them as living in a state of before a single word of greeting. To your dog, vets, you're never hear that complaint. You're just late. And an apple think about what the fix means. A lot of them keep in their every own kitchen instead of a bottle of breath every spray from the pet aisle. Your dog the natural acidity under the same break down the bacteria behind the smell, and the fiber gives the teeth something to work against on the way down. The nose tracking your scent through and core removed completely since those carry a strange behavior on this list. But here's the really one story. Hand over a whole keeping you present in every way they know how until the real you comes home. Leave it. That's why the greeting at the door never gets smaller. Tough to bother whether you were gone 10 minutes or 10 days into the food you came back. Or freeze thin slices that never once considered the alternative, almost like a chip. That's and suddenly the same dog that walked away finishes the bowl without pausing. We spend our days out in the world. Those first 3 are quick wins. They spend their days holding our place. Now the stakes go up a little because the next change the way you close that keep owners away. The door tomorrow morning. Number 4, nothing will. Pumpkin. So let's go back to that dog because the exact same spoonful, the one curled around a single sock. Sighing. A dog with diarrhea now you know what you were really and looking at. And a dog that hasn't. Not mischief. Gone in 2 days gets the same spoonful. A love language because the fiber works both directions depending on what the gut and here's the empowering part. The dose is where most people get it wrong. Naps in your chair and waits at the window is a dog who's coping beautifully. 1 teaspoon folded completely into genuinely struggle. So the texture disappears to know that only the smell is left behind. Howling that goes on and on, loose on top. Scratching at the door at once and ignores walls, suspicious of anything sitting alone in the bowl. Those aren't signs of a naughty dog. It just vanishes into the meal. Some skeptics say a dog chewing furniture is just bored or underexercised. And sometimes this is often the one bowl that gets finished. Boredom and too little exercise are real culprits. No emergency visit and a good walk plus a puzzle toy fixes a lot. Oatmeal. But when the destruction there's a moment after a dog comes off antibiotics and howling the second surgery when it can't handle separation anxiety, but it's still genuine distress. This is the
not
quiet
disobedience.
fix vets reach for
And
at home
experts
before
agree
anything
on one
from the
thing
pharmacy.
above.
Cooked
Oh,
plain in water.
never punish
No
it.
sugar.
Punishment
No cinnamon.
only deepens
It's a
the
soluble
fear.
fiber
What
gentle
helps
enough
is
to coat
the
an
gentle
upset
stuff.
gut instead of
More
irritating
exercise.
it further. Food
It's
puzzles that keep the mind
often
busy.
the first solid
a smaller,
food handed
cozy
back
space
after illness
something that
before
smells
anything
like
richer is allowed.
And for the tough cases,
And dogs with a sensitivity
veterinarian
to wheat
or
or
a certified
corn tolerate
behaviorist
oats without a problem.
No guilt allowed
which makes it a
here,
safety net.
either.
Most food allergy
Some dogs
are
never
simply
knew existed.
wired more
The
anxious
trick
than
most
others.
owners miss
It's
is
not
temperature.
proof you did
A
anything
cold
wrong.
bowl barely
But
smells
here's the
like
part
anything
one
to
really
a dog
want you to
whose
hear,
appetite is
because
already
it's the
low.
one owners
Mix
miss.
it in warm
We
right before
notice the
serving,
damage.
and the smell finally
Research
cuts
on
through.
dog.
Number
Owners has
6
found
is
we're
one
far
I want
better
you
at
to sit
spotting
with,
behavior
because
that
if
leaves
you've got an
evidence.
itchy,
The chewed
door
dog,
frame,
this
the
might be
puddle
the
on the
whole
rug,
answer.
then behavior that
Turkey.
leaves nothing behind.
Picture the dog
like
that's
pacing or
constantly
trembling
itchy,
in an empty
ears
room.
inflamed,
And there's a
stomach
study that
upset.
makes this even
No
more
matter what you
important.
change in the bowl,
Dogs scoring
owners
highest
spend
on
years
fear
on this.
tend to whine
Lotions,
rather than
creams,
bark,
steroids.
Meanwhile, the
one
dogs who
prescription
bark
after
loudest
another.
and scratch
Hundreds
soonest
and
are
hundreds
more
of dollars.
often frustrated than
And the
frightened.
dog is still
Read
miserable.
that again. And so
The most
often,
frightened dogs
it's not
can
the
be the
food
quietest
itself.
ones in the
it's
building.
the protein
So,
inside it.
the loud dog
usually
gets
chicken,
help,
plain cooked
and the
turkey,
silent dog
no
gets
skin,
called a good boy.
no bones.
That's
no
not a
seasoning.
reason to panic
It's the
about
protein
your own
swap
dog.
vets reach
Most
for.
quiet dogs
First before
are simply
any
resting.
expensive prescription diet,
Exactly
because
like
it's lean,
number 5.
easy to digest.
It's just
and
a
rarely
reason
the
to look
trigger
a little
behind
closer
those
at
same
the
symptoms.
softness. The
Not
problem is a
silence.
dog used to
Now,
rich.
that little trick I
Flavorful
promised.
Meals often treats
It
a
takes
bland
10
pile of
seconds.
shredded turkey as
Tonight,
beneath it, and
take
walk
yesterday's
straight past
worn
the bowl,
t-shirt
and leave
so
it in your
shred it
dog's
warm
bed
and stir in
your
a splash
scent
of
is
the
the
broth
most
it was
powerful
cooked in.
comfort object
And
your
the
dog
smell
has.
alone erases
More
that
powerful than
hesitation.
any toy you
Within
could
a couple
buy.
of weeks on
And
turkey
tomorrow
alone,
morning,
a lot of
change
owners
your
watch the itching,
goodbye,
the ear infections,
no dramatic
the loose
farewell.
stool all
No
quietly
guilty
clear up.
voice.
Proof.
No long hugs at the
was
door.
never about the amount
Experts
of food.
warn those
Just
emotional
what was
exits
hiding
can
inside
actually
it.
feed a dog's
Now,
anxiety.
stay with me, because
Instead,
the next half
use
of this
the same
list
3
is where it
calm
gets
words
heavier.
every single time.
We're about to get into
something
the foods
like
for stiff,
guard the
aching
house.
joints.
For the
Then
fog that
walk
creeps
out
into
like
an
it's
older
nothing.
dog's eyes.
Calm leavings
and right
teach
at the
your
end,
dog that
the one
leaving
bowl
is
that
nothing
can get
to
a dog
fear.
eating again.
And if you want to
even
make
after
it even
2 full
easier on
days
them,
of refusing
try
food.
this.
Number
Hide a
7,
few pieces of their
sardines,
breakfast around the room
a
before
dog
you
that's
go.
slower getting
Or
up in the
stuff
morning,
their morning meal
hesitating
into
at the stairs.
a puzzle toy.
It used to take
It turns
2
the
at a
first
time.
lonely half
That's
hour
inflammation
into a hunt.
talking.
A dog who's
and
been busy
sardines
sniffing
go
settles
straight
far
at it.
more easily
The
than a dog
omega-3s
left with
inside
nothing
are
to
the
do.
exact same
20
thing
minutes
vets
of real
sell
play a
separately
day
in a
does
joint
more for a
supplement
dog's
bottle.
peace of
Except
mind
this
than
version
any
costs
gadget you
less
can
than a
buy.
coffee and
If
sits
this
in the
video
can of
changed
changed
the way you see
the
that
mistake
little
most
sock thief
owners
of
make
yours
is handing over
hit
a
like
whole
and
fish
subscribe
and expecting a
because
miracle
next time
overnight.
we're
Mash
answering
the
the
question
question
this
this
video
video
into
just
a rough
raised.
paste.
Does
Smear
your
it
dog
thin
actually
across the
dream
top of
about
the
you?
Kibble
The
like a
science
glaze
on that
so
one
the
will
smell
melt
hits
you.
before the dog
Until then,
even lowers
give
its
your
head.
dog a slow
no
ear
single
scratch
scratch
from
all
all
of
of
us.
Bite to
They
reject.
waited all day for
Within
you,
a few weeks,
and they'd tell
coats
you
go
it was
glossy.
worth it. And
Every
dogs
night
that
in a
limped a
small
little getting
apartment,
up start
the
clearing
same
the
thing
stairs
happens.
without hesitation.
A man lies down,
Number 8
turns off
bone
the light,
broth
and waits.
There's a moment,
and then
every
he hears
vet
it,
recognizes
the soft patter
an
of
older
little
dog
feet
that
crossing.
used to jump into. Things for watching and like and subscribe, share please.